Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nihil, and in this video we are going to discuss about what are the investments you can do to get you the highest return possible in North America. I'm in Canada, and these are the investments that I have done in the past that were able to generate from 8% to 10, 12, 15% return. And those are the investments that I will share with you guys, and hopefully that will make you better return than what you are getting right now. So stay tuned until the end of the video. I'm going to show you all those by example. So let's understand what is investment. Investment means basically you are putting money into something that will generate you a return in which you don't have to work actively in that investment, and that will generate your passive income. So basically that's called an investment. There are also investments where it will require you to work actively, but in this video we are going to discuss about 4 investments that will generate you income passively, and even if you have to manage, it won't be a full-time business or a full-time job that you're doing right now. So these are the investments that have generated me from 8 to 15% return. So let's start with investment number one. You can invest in stock market. Now I'm sure you all of you know what stock market is, and that is one thing you can do to get you that 8 to 10% return annually. Stock market is one of the best when it comes down to start investing, because the pros of stock market is you only need, let's say, $100, $200, $300. You can start from any money you have, and basically you can start investing in stock market. So that's the main advantage of stock market, is that it's very easy to get in. The other benefit of stock market is that it's a liquid, so it's not long term. You can do long term, and long term is the way to go. But let's say you have some kind of emergency and you need the funds, it's very liquid. You can liquid your money anytime you want. So that's the other advantage of stock market. Now the main disadvantage of stock market is you have no control over it. If you are investing in any company, you have no control over it, and that is something you just cannot control. So it's a very unpredictable. You cannot time the market. Actually nobody can time the market, and that's the main disadvantage of stock market, because it may be able to generate you 8%, 10%, but at the same time it may also give you negative 50% this year, and which is where the main game of stock market comes in, right? So if you invest in stock market, just make sure that you're aware of these pros and cons of stock market. Now in stock market, how the safe and secure way to invest is through index funds. Index funds are made that they are able to track the indexes that you want, and they're able to invest those money in those indexes and can able to generate 8 to 10%, which are safe and secure investment returns. For example, if you're investing in S&P 500, and if you have index fund that is matching those companies, so basically that index fund will invest in those companies that are in S&P 500. And if you, let's say, take a look of what S&P 500 companies are giving you a return on last 10-20 year history, they're able to generate 8 to 9% return average annually. But again, do your due diligence and invest in stock market. Now let's talk about investment number two. Investment number two, I would say, is a private equity firms. Now let's understand what private equity firms are. Private equity firms are those firms that invest in companies privately. They are not listed on a public stock market, but those companies can generate 8 to 10 to 12% return. And I've personally invested in one of the private equity firms, and they are able to generate on an yearly basis at least 8 to 10%, and I've been getting that return for last 5 years. So that is something that you can invest in. But make sure when you invest in private equity firms, make sure you do your due diligence. And I'm not gonna say any names of any companies that are doing private equity, but the city you are in, you can look up what are the private equity firms that are near in your city, and then you can go through their website and see what they are doing. The one that I'm investing in, lots of other small businesses, and then which are stable, and they have been in business for more than 20 years. And so this equity firm will invest in those companies. So basically they will buy out those companies and keep the management in place, and then they're able to generate 12 to 15% return. And then they give equity owners or share owners like us about 8 to 10% every year. And as I said, I've been doing that for 5 years, and they're able to generate at least 8 to 10% every year. So private equity firms are a good option. You just look it up and then see what interests you. So in real estate, there are lots of ways you can invest in. The first I would say is through the stock market. And in the stock market, there are companies out there that holds investment for real estate, and those are called REITs, REITs, real estate investment trust. And those are usually able to generate 6 to 8% return based on my experience, but those have to be done through stock market. But those are the good options if you're looking for no hassle and still want to invest in real estate. Now let's talk about actual real estate. The actual real estate, you can buy the property, residential or commercial, and then rent it out to somebody, and then from that rent you're able to pay the mortgage. So basically that's the game of the real estate that most people do. Now let's talk about the pro and cons of this. The pro is it's a secure investment, and it's something that you can control. That's the pro of it. And the other advantage of this as well, that you will get the appreciation on the real estate that you hold for 10, 15, 20 years, and that is something that will generate you good return. Because in some areas I have seen personally, the value of the property was, let's say, 500,000, and then in 3 years it grew to 800,000. So that is something that you can take advantage of when it comes down to appreciation in real estate. The disadvantage of real estate is it's not easy to get in. You need a big amount of money to get in for most properties. I know there are videos out there that will show how to get into real estate at a $0 down, or how to find somebody who can invest for you and stuff like that. But here we are talking about our money. So other disadvantage I would say is also you have to deal with tenants, and you're not sure how tenants are, and they might call you at 1 o'clock that their heater is not working. They might call you at 3 a.m. that their fire alarm just started, and then it won't stop, right? And this personally happened to me as well. But every investment will come with some kind of advantages and disadvantages, and these are advantages and disadvantages of real estate. But this is something you can do to be able to generate 8 to 10% return on yearly basis, and which is very secure, and then it will be under your control. Before we get into the investment number 4, if you really think that the information that I'm giving you is valuable, please like my video and subscribe to my channel. That will motivate me to give you guys good content in future, and that will help me keep going in my YouTube channel journey. Now let's go back to the topic. Investment number 4, you can invest in active businesses. So for example, in this step or in this investment, what you have to do is you have to find a partner who is looking to run the business but is looking for some kind of investment into the business. So basically you are going to invest into the business, and then your partner will be able to run the business, and then you guys will share the profit end of the year. That is heavily or actively involved business, in terms of you have to make sure that everything in this business is up and running, and then obligations of taxes and are getting paid on time, and then the business is running smooth, and then you are able to communicate with your business partner on a weekly or daily or monthly basis to see how everything is running in the business. But in this investment, you are able to generate the maximum return possible out of all the investment that I just said. So in this you can generate from 15 to 20% return. And but just make sure one thing though is that whatever money that you put in any businesses and then any partnerships that you do, make sure everything is on paper. You don't want to trust on any words. We know that when you are doing a partnership with anybody, it comes down to a matter of trust, and of course it's a trust, but at the same time there has to be something on paper, right? So make sure that whatever you do is on paper, and whatever that needs to be done in terms of business corporation or legal papers, make sure you do that. The pro of this is you're able to generate higher return, and then it's active business that has a previous history, so you know the track record of the business and how much money or how much return it will generate based on your investment. And the main disadvantage of this is that you have to manage, depends on how you guys work the deal out, but you have to manage in terms of having the meetings like monthly or quarterly or whatever you guys decide, and you have to make sure that you are in a good relation, or and you and your business partner have a same mindset, and then able to generate good returns on your investment. For both, if it's a two partners, or doesn't matter if it's 3 4, doesn't matter, but just make sure that everything is done on paper, and then you have to be a little bit involved in paperwork, taxes, and whatever you guys decide. But this is the good option if you are able to find a partners that are looking for businesses or investors, and then you can invest in that business directly. So these were my 4 investments that are able to generate from 8% to 10-12% return, and hopefully out of 4 you may be able to find one that suits you or can generate you good return. And yeah, if you like the content of this video, again, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, and this will motivate me a lot to give you a good content going. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for joining, and see you in the next one.